I'm not a liar. I am as honest as you will find on this planet. I know that about myself. Hi, I'm Linda Perry, and this is Billboard News.
Now, sitting across from an icon like yourself, I feel like this is a question you might not ever get asked, so I want to start with this. Who is Linda Perry?
Linda Perry has been trying to figure it out. People think, just because someone is, I'm pretty tough, I'm aggressive, I'm a powerful person. I get that, I see that about me. I'm very talented, I'm smart, I'm a great mom, I'm a great friend, I'm all these things, I'm a great songwriter, but sometimes you lose your way. That's what this film is about. And in real time, I kind of figured things out. I'm still putting the pieces together. I don't think, honestly, anybody truly knows who they are until they can be at one with everything. I guess I'm trying to get to that point where I don't have a reaction, because reactions are emotional.
You even have said, kind of a female Bruce Springsteen, so where did that analogy come from?
I love Bruce Springsteen. I was making a joke about it because sometimes I like to think I'm Bruce Springsteen and sing like Bruce Springsteen, and then a song will come and, I should be collaborating with Bruce Springsteen, but I made the joke as a reference to I can be anything I think about, but sometimes I don't know how to be me.
You say, I'm tough, I'm all of these things. Sometimes I feel like in this day and age, some people try to say, oh, you shouldn't call women tough, or you shouldn't say this because of their personality is this way or this way. Do you feel like that's something you've earned and that you want to wear, is that you're a tough person that's been through a lot?
I'm not trying to make a statement. I'm not following a girl power situation. I'm just me. And I've always been very determined, motivated, driven. Anytime anybody asserts themselves and shows power of who they are, you're considered tough.
And you say you've arrived there. Can you think of a catalyst or a moment that you feel like pushed you into being this person that you are today professionally?
Yeah, when my mom pushed me out of her vagina, that's when it...
You're like, it started at the beginning. You're like, honestly, we have to go all the way back to the top.
I trust the universe. I was put in the position I was with the family that I was brought up with for a reason. I can see why I had to go through certain things. I can see why my mom was a certain way. I can see why my dad was a certain way. So I don't want to take anything away from that, but I was pretty much put in an awkward position when I first arrived. I retreated as much as I could. I found my narrow way out, and it was through music.
One more time, same punch. Good? One more time, same punch.
Did you kind of process all of those emotions as you were filming the documentary and as these things started happening to you with her illness, your illness, or was this something you already were kind of working through before you started filming?
I think I'm still working it through, because my mom was diagnosed with dementia, but I think she had it way before that. My mom was super stubborn and didn't want to go to the doctor. My mom was the kind of woman that went to beauty school one day and felt like she knew more than the teacher. When I found out that my mom had dementia, it was then when I started trying to figure some things out and let go of some things and start doing the processing of, why am I hanging on? There's the bigger question, because as a kid and you're growing up, you're holding on to these wounds, these scars that weren't yours. So we hold on to this stuff. Why don't we just throw it away? Why are we carrying this luggage that's not ours, right? So then it becomes like we're still trying to blame the person who left the luggage. They just left it. They gave it to us. They didn't say, keep it for the rest of your life, right? It takes years to figure that out. I started going through the luggage and seeing what I've actually been carrying around because I never looked.
It's pretty amazing I turned out the way I did. Everything else was running against me.
No, that's not right.
And do you feel like that is what started the documentary process? Were you already working on it when you started this?
Oh no, the documentary, let me make this clear, I was not making it. I didn't even know we were making a documentary. Don Hardy, I became friends with him because I scored a film of his called Citizen Penn. And then one day he was like, you're so interesting. Do you mind if I'm like a fly on the wall in your studio? I'm like, sure, can I use some of this for content?
Content.
on my Instagram. That's what I'm thinking, right? And during this process, he's a fly on the wall. Things are starting to happen. I start unraveling. And it wasn't until he came to me one day and he said, listen, you know that footage I've been capturing? And I'm like, yes. He's like, I kind of put an edit together. It's like 30 minutes. And I showed it to somebody and they think, well, we all think there's a documentary here. And I said, you don't need my permission. Just do what you're going to do. I fully trust you.
That is very trustworthy
You
of
know,
Linda.
and stuff happened, you know, and then I got sick, and then, you know, my mother got sick, and all of that was happening in real time. It all makes sense now, like why I had to unravel in real time. And if I would have thought about it, if I knew it was going to happen, never would have ever approved anything like this.
But now it exists, and what are you hoping that you can accomplish, or that the message that comes from this for other people?
I think we all run around trying to be raw versions of ourselves. We all run around saying we don't care. We all run around saying, you know, I don't need to put makeup on, and I'm going to be really real, and I'm going to be honest. And the truth is we're not at all. I've never seen a film like this, you know. It's so uncomfortable. There's a scene where it's so raw that's happening in the closet, you know, where I'm literally having a spiral, I'm breaking down. I would have never let that go, but I filmed it myself because I felt something coming. And so Dawn always said, if you got anything to say and I'm not there, just put your camera on. I look like a crazy person twirling around in my fucking closet, you know? And I just sent it because I knew if I would have even thought 2 seconds, I would have never sent it to him. But what I would like for people to get out of, it's like honesty, raw, real, true honesty is really beautiful. So even though I disassociate with this film and I have to pull myself out of it, I can't watch it as Linda, it's her. I hope people see that and make more films, make more documentaries, write more songs, do more interviews with this kind of honesty. I was abused mentally, emotionally, physically as a child. I developed a pattern as an adult of self-abuse. Because of my mother, the gift that she left me, it was the gift to free yourself. You have nothing to prove. Go do, write whatever you want about me. Tell whatever story you want about me, but just let it go. And that's why I asked if we could call the movie Let It Die Here, because I wrote a song called Let It Die Here for her.
And in the past, I feel like you've said you kind of hid away from writing your own stories and you would write other people's. So how do you process this going into the studio differently when you're writing your own feelings now versus other people's?
Everything I do is true, even if it's about you. I have long conversations with the artist before I even write anything. But I was having a problem writing songs for people because I don't know how to tell my words through someone else's experience. It started to feel like a lie to me, you know, and I'm not a liar. I am as honest as you will find on this planet. I know that about myself. And when it was feeling like I was creating lies, I stood outside of my studio. I have this really pretty lawn, and I just said, universe, I'm done writing for people. I want to score film and TV. And that's where Dawn showed up. All of a sudden, a week later, I'm scoring, you know, this film that he asked me to do.
So what do you think makes a good songwriter and producer?
What makes a great producer is someone who is honest with their artist. Someone who makes their artist feel safe in their environment. Someone who leaves the ego outside of the studio. And for me, when my artists walk in, I don't care who you think I am. I'm just as equal. I'm down here with you. I don't know more than you. I'm not greater than you. I am your equal, and I'm going to create with you. I feel a producer needs to listen. Let their artists be heard, and just write the best songs you can.
Who are some people that are inspiring you that you've seen that you feel like are kind of bringing that artistry back to the industry?
Well, I think when Brandi Carlile showed up, it was, you know, Brandi's been around here a long time. She just was finally seen and heard. I think when she showed up, she brought in this whole thing that artists forgot. And it was hard work, touring, knowing who you are before you're in the studio, writing stories from your heart, not just what is trendy, and having something to stand for. I really love Phoebe Bridgers. I love Paris Jackson. She hasn't been able to tell her story yet, but I can hear it bubbling. I'm an Aries. You could do something one time and I would know it. I would know how to replicate it. My brain picks up things very quickly. And earlier on in my career, I realized that. And so I put a stop to listening to music because I was afraid that anything that would enter my brain or my system, I would not intend to do it,
But it could influence.
but it would influence, you know, my sound, who I am. I don't want to replicate what greatness someone else already did.
Wow.
Everybody wants to be everybody else, and if you watch in real time what's going on in the world, that's exactly what we're dealing with. People influencing other people to be like them.
But then you have artists, like you said, like Brandi Carlile, who are kind of paving their own way and doing their own thing. And I do want to kind of touch on something that I read, how she called you a queer icon and wrote you a fan letter. Do you remember actually receiving a fan letter from Brandi Carlile?
No, so when we met, it's like we knew each other already. I was just like in awe of her record and her career, everything. And then she told me that. I'm like, listen, if you sent me the letter, I never got it or I don't remember it for sure. And such a sweet heart, you know, a kind, gentle person, human being, and so giving of her energy. And I just loved that. I loved meeting that energy. As much as I loved Dolly Parton's energy, the same. Very giving. Her frequency is extremely high. A very creative woman that wants to lift other people up. But there's a lot of artists that are brewing with that type of energy of I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I don't really care what you think of it.
And then also with Brandi calling you a queer icon, what was that journey like for you? Is that something you always knew or felt, or when did you feel comfortable kind of owning that with how rapidly the industry changed?
I've owned my queerness from day one. When Four Non Blondes got signed, Interscope did this interview to see how we would do in interviews. I don't know, labels used to do that. But
media training, okay?
Yeah, media training,
There
thank
we
you.
go.
But it wasn't really media training. So they're asking us all these questions, and then it's like cut to, so what is it like being, you know, when did you come out, or, you know, when did you discover I'm gay, or you're gay? And I answered the question exactly, and they were like, okay, so that's where we're going to have to tone it down. And I was just like going, what? Tone what down? What is this? Did we just get punked? You know, like, so it was all a setup to see how I would respond to any questions about being gay. And I said, listen, I have a news flash for you. I'm gay, and I'm going to be proud about it. I don't wear it on my sleeve. I am the outfit. You know, I will not have to answer a question about writing as a gay person because I am a gay person. I'm just writing, you know? And so all these tricks were put in front of me, and I failed them all because I stuck to the truth. And my funniest moment was this interviewer was sitting with me, and Roger, the guitar player, asked me, what do I do when we're not touring? And I'm like, well, I usually hang out with my girlfriend and we watch movies. Roger, what do you do, when you're off, of tour? And then Roger brings it back. Well, I usually go to Linda and her girlfriend's house and watch movies. And the person was so uncomfortable. And then finally we get on the David Letterman. My guitar said Dyke and Choice on it. And so we do our sound check and everything, and then the stage manager or whatever, executive comes, and it's like, there's this really great vintage guitar store. Everybody goes to it, and everybody loves it. It's really famous. Have you ever heard of it? Blah, blah, blah. No, I haven't. Well, we're prepared to buy you whatever you want. If you, but we feel like the statement on your guitar is maybe too much for our program. And I'm like, which one? Dyke or Choice? And she was like, well, kind of both of them. And I'm like, okay, well, just so you know, I didn't write this to make a statement. This is my guitar. You can see footage of it, that it's the guitar I play. I'm not trying to be political right now. It's just who I am. And as generous as this is for you to buy me a guitar, if my guitar doesn't play, I don't play. And I just want to make that clear that is now, you have made it political. Now, she left and she came back and she said, okay, everything is fine. Now, my regret was I should have got the guitar and just didn't use it.
It's a free guitar.
That was the dumbest thing. But anyways, they started on my guitar. It's like, and then that's the thing about life and people. They want to see how far they can push you. And if you back down, they know they got you wrapped around their finger. But if you stand up and push back, you won. You win. You win every single time.
And I just love hearing you tell your story of how you stayed true to yourself and how honest you are, because that does transition into your music. I know you probably heard this 1,000 times from a millennial gay man, but listening to Beautiful when I was young and songs like that really changed me and inspired us and made us feel comfortable when someone like you was already being a pioneer and rocking and being who you are. So from someone that enjoys that music, thank you for keeping that honesty in what you do.
You are beautiful in every single way.
And then also with, I want to talk to you about being a pioneer in the industry. When you were doing your original writing, you didn't get credited for some of the work you did producing.
That was probably because of so many things. One is ego. The male ego in the business is pretty big. But the ego is also insecurity. They do everything they can to smash you down. I'm already coming in vulnerable, but I also have my confidence and my power. I get my power from the vulnerability and the weakness. It turns it all into strength for me. I had to figure that out quickly. And after the situation with the Four Non Blondes and me producing the hits that What's Up became, I had to just go, okay, I get it. This is the game I'm in. It's not just about being a creative person and going out and singing your emotions and drinking and smoking and partying. It's about stamina. How long are you going to last?
Into a crisis, times when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head.
You have to start creating ways to have stamina and be powerful and to persevere through this very male-dominated business that doesn't want people to shine unless you're a pop star that they control. I learned quick, but for some reason, people didn't bug me. They stepped out of my way and just let
you be.
Plow right through. I knew something was going on, but I just didn't take it as a reason for me to slow down.
But you've done a lot of work, I feel like, to empower women to continue to do that, equalize her and everything like that. So what do you feel like advice you would give to a woman starting in the industry today on how to, for lack of use of better words, be like you?
I don't want anybody to be like me. What I do is just be me, and hopefully somebody thinks it's cool or refreshing or inspiring in some way, and it invites them to find who they are and how they can be powerful. I think it's very important that we always stay individual. I could give you everything that I have. I can give you this hat to wear, this outfit to put on. I could tell you how I mic every single instrument. I could show you how to play guitar. I could show you the guitar. I could give you the guitar that I play. I could put you in my studio with all my gear, and you will never, ever have my ears. You will never hear what I hear. You will never be me. You will never sound like me, look like me at all. You won't write a song like me either. And I think that that's what's empowering, is to know that we just gain inspiration. We pick up things along the way. We're like a tumbleweed, like a, you know what I mean? We're just picking up shit as we go along. And then what's gonna make you powerful is all that information that you picked up, and then you're going to put it all into one, and then you're going to use your ears, your words, your heart to make your creation and to be who you are. You know, that's what I inspire people to do.
We're just tumbleweeds picking up shit that sometimes we gotta unpack. All right? Thank you so much, Linda, for this conversation today. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.